Welcome back. Today I'm teaching you how to correctly sign WH questions in ASL. If you find questions to be totally confusing and overwhelming, this is the lesson for you. My name is Michelle Weirman and I'm your guide to better communication in ASL. Let's talk a little bit about sentence structure in English versus ASL. Now, there are some areas that overlap, but questions are one of the big areas where they are very different. Now, WH questions are questions that require an actual answer, not a yes or no. So we're talking about who, what, where, when, why, questions like that. That's why we talk about them as the WH questions. However, remember that that also includes questions like how. In English, we tend to start our question sentences with those words. Who are you going with? Where are you going? What are you doing? In ASL, we're doing the exact opposite. We are generally ending with the question word, and we're adding facial expression. In English, we do things with our voice, changing the tone to show that we're asking a question. In ASL, we're using our facial expression and our body language. These are actually called NMMs, non-manual markers. So it's more than just your facial expression. We're talking mainly about our eyebrows, mouths, and shoulders, and leaning. So let's look at the question in English, where are you going? We start with where, and we end with this upward sound, where are you going? In ASL, we're going to move the where to the end of the sentence and sign everything else the same. You go where. This is the sign for where. I'm using my one hand, and it's upright and shaking back and forth from the arm. Notice what I did though. You go where? During the question word, I am now going to lean forward, engage my shoulders and pull them up a little bit, and my eyebrows come down. This is what I call scrunchy face. Try not to look angry, but more questioning or confused. Where? Now, my mouth isn't doing much during this one. However, this is called a neutral expression. I'm not hanging there with my mouth open. That would not be correct. There are some question signs that actually use my mouth in different ways. For example, the sign for who. My mouth has this small whistling look to it. Eyebrows are still down, shoulders are still engaged, and I'm still leaning forward. That's the standard for a WH question. So remember, take the WH question word, move it to the end of the sentence, sign everything the same, and engage your body language while you're doing the question. When you're watching somebody else sign, you may notice that occasionally the WH question shows up at the beginning. Don't get confused. It doesn't come at the beginning alone. When you see a WH question at the beginning of an ASL sentence, it's actually a repeat. It's at the beginning and at the end, kind of like bookends. Let me show you what that looks like. Who? Your friend, who? I'm going to do my normal question sentence, but it's almost like emphasizing who. That's where I'm getting at, who? Your friend, who? Where? Your mom's house, where? It's actually a double question, starting and ending. I cannot drop the last question sign. It's not correct grammatically. I need to start and end if I use this format for a question. A third thing you might see is that sometimes when a sentence is very, very short, I'm talking about 2 signs, sometimes they're interchangeable. A great example of this is the question, where are you from? So I can either do from where, or where from. Notice in this case, my pointer finger is already up to sign from because this has really become almost a conjunction. I've connected the 2 signs because they're so commonly used this way. So I can do from where or where from. We also tend to see this with the sentence, why not? Now, if we were following normal grammatical order, it would be not, why? But actually, most of the time it's signed Why not? Notice that fast movement. The Y is going straight into not. I'm not repeating. Normally this form of Y has a flutter, but I'm actually doing very quickly once and going straight to not. The entire time I'm engaging my face and body language to show a WH question. Why not? They're flipped because it's actually a two-sign question sentence. Last thing you should know is that some of the categories for WH questions in English are not the same in ASL. For example, in English, we will ask, what's wrong? The what and wrong are two separate words. But in ASL, we generally don't do wrong what. We do what's wrong. We go straight for wrong, and at the same time, we use that scrunchy eyebrows and that questioning body language. It's not incorrect if you sign wrong what, but most people will not do that. They'll go straight for what's wrong. The same is true for what happened. Happened. We sign happened with the engaged shoulders and the questioning face. What happened? Again, it's not wrong if you sign happened what, but most often you're going to see what happened. So remember, keep in mind that sometimes the concept behind the WH question is a little different, and we're not actually asking a what question. We are asking something in a questioning way, and our body language is going to show that. If you like the way I teach and you want to learn more from me, go check out my website to find some free resources and lots of class options. Check out aslwithmichelle.com, and I'll see you there.